made a knot on my sewing thread. So what I will do is make a temporary stitch to hold all these loops in place. Cut this and this and this and this, and then there you go. So to make such a fluffy rag that has multiple colors, you don't need to use one color at a time. So, and we are making this fluffy rag using fabric, sewing needle, and sewing thread. So I will use black so that you can see how I do the stitches. And then scissors for if you want to cut a different shape from this one or fill different colors, and a marker pen if you need to draw different patterns on your fabric so that you can make the rag that you want. So what I usually do, I will have my green and white yarn. So what I do, instead of working with one strand of each color at a time, I will take both threads. I will take the white thread and the green thread, and then I am going to make a double strand. So a double strand is easier to work with, because if I was working with only one strand, then I would need to make so many stitches like this. I will need to make so many stitches. But if I work with 4 strands, let me show you. If I work with 4, so if I have 4 strands like this one, and then I fold this like this, so it's going to be super fluffy like this one once I cut these ends, and then I don't have to make so many stitches. So I work with 4 strands. So first of all, I have held my 2 strands of different colors. So don't cut a very long, don't cut it long, just a few centimeters will work for you so that it does not keep tangling. So this is what I have, a few centimeters of 4 strands. So 4 strands means I have 2 greens and 2 whites. So what I will do with my needle thread, I will make my marker pen, and then I will mark a straight line. So this is another way of making the mat. I have showed you 2 more ways. So I will make loops like this. Make sure that the distance between this and whatever is going to be on this side is equal. So make a loop like that. So I have that. I need to stitch across my line. Remember where my line was? So my line was there, under. So I need to stitch across this line, and then I will cut this much later. So I have made a knot on my sewing thread. So what I will do is make a temporary stitch to hold all these loops in place. Alternatively, you can just hold the first one like that and then let the others go. So I will make a temporary stitch called tacking stitch. So insert your needle on the underside of your fabric like that, pull, and then make sure that you insert the needle on top of these green and white threads like that, and then you out on that side. So this will make sure that this black thread will come, this black thread will cover the, so that's the first one. And then you need to make your other loop like that. So make sure that your needle goes above this. So make sure that your needle, which is carrying the black thread, goes across this so that it's going to cover this, and stick it to the fabric. So I'm going to repeat that again. So let's push them closer. So I'm going to insert here. So I'm following this line, insert there, and then a bit out there. So there you are. So this is temporary, and as you can see, they can move. We will repeat this stitch so that these threads are tightly stitched to the fabric. So we make another loop. So above again. So this is another trick. So you're finished with your temporary loop. If you like, you can adjust your length now, but you need to make this permanent so that the threads don't come off when you are done with your rag. So you can do back stitch. So back stitch, you always go one hole behind and then insert like that. So if you want to know how to do the back stitch, please watch this video in the corner. and then cut. And now here comes the fun part. So as it is, it does not look like this. So what we need to do is cut through this. So what we need to do now is cut this and this and this and this, and then there you go. So this is how I made this. So you see the stitch, I have the back stitch, this one and this one and this one. So this one is very full, so all you need to do is to draw maybe another line close by, so that by the time you're done, and then it's going to be fluffy and full like this one. Please watch Maggie's DIY rugs. It's the playlist I have put in this channel. It has all sorts of shaggy rugs and how to make them, like this one. So this is when you mix colors and then you're making this shaggy rug on a fabric like this one or cloth. And then you will see also the video on how to make such a fluffy rug while also using fabric. And then there is how to make this fluffy one, this fluffy rug. It looks like the one I had made on sack, except that I made this using a cloth or fabric. So I will show you how to make this also. Also, there is a video on how to make a shaggy rug using the mat mesh, different types of mat meshes, and also how to use a crochet. Like if you do not have the fabric and you do not have the sack material and you do not have the mat mesh, then you can use just your thread alone. And in that case, some of the tools you might need. So some of the tools you might need when you want to make your DIY rug could be the normal crochet, especially if you're not using any of the mat mesh or sack or fabric. You will need to use only this crochet, or you can use this latch. Yeah, sorry, I got colored from my pen. So you can use this latch crochet. This is when you have a mat mesh like this one, and then you might need sewing needle and sewing thread when you're using fabric or cloth or t-shirt to make your shaggy rug. So watch this playlist if you want to see how you can make your fluffy rug, your mat, your DIY rug, whatever you call it. So watch this playlist to see how you can make whatever you want. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and comment. If you're facing any challenges, please leave a comment. If your rug came out nicely, please show us and leave a comment in the comment section. We can actually put some of those comments on Facebook, on my Facebook page and Facebook group, or Instagram or Twitter called Maggie's DIY World. So if you cannot attach an image on YouTube on the comment section, just join Facebook, my Facebook group, Maggie's DIY World, also Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. They go by the same name, Maggie's DIY World. So you can post there your comments or your images and encourage each other.